Hey, I'm Dr. Z and I'm a neurosurgeon. So that means long hours, early rounds, late nights, and everything in between. And through it all, I wear figs. Because they're built for what I do. Through the chaos, through the hours, and through whatever the day throws at me, they do their job so I can do mine. They're comfortable when it counts and functional when I need them the most. So where do you wear your figs? On shift, on call, on the couch in the break room, listening to this podcast, wherever it is, they fit right in. And now listeners of this podcast can get 15% off their first order. Just head to wearfigs.com and use code FIGSRX at checkout. That's wearfigs.com, code FIGSRX.
All right, Hawkeye fans, buckle up. Because today we are going deep on everyone's favorite archer, Hawkeye.
You got it.
We're talking comics, movies, and everything in between, trying to figure out what makes this guy tick. Especially, without any actual superpowers.
Yeah, that's what's really interesting about Clint,
Yeah.
He's stayed relevant in a world full of these, super soldiers and these cosmic beings and everything.
Crazy.
It really is. He proves you don't need superpowers to be a hero.
Yeah. Almost like, I don't know, he's kind of like the everyman hero. He makes you feel like you could rise to the occasion, too.
Yeah.
But, let's rewind a little bit. Let's go back to the beginning.
Sure.
Because his comic book origin story
is
not your typical superhero story.
Oh, absolutely not. Clint Barton had, I'd say, a rough childhood.
Oh, yeah.
Abandoned, ends up in a traveling circus, learning archery.
Oh, yeah.
Acrobatics.
I mean, talk about a tough break.
Right? It is a tough break. From a swordsman. And trick shot. Not exactly a
role model.
The best mentors.
Yeah, not the Avengers faculty, that's for sure.
True. No, definitely not. And that's where kind of that villainous turn for him starts,
It makes you wonder, though, right?
Yeah.
Was he destined to be a hero?
Right.
Or did all that
shape him?
Make him into who he is?
It's the nature versus nurture.
Right.
For a superhero, that's what's so fascinating.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of what makes him so appealing, right?
Yeah.
Because he makes those mistakes.
Right.
But he has this redemption arc.
He chooses to be better.
Yeah.
And I think we can all relate to that.
Yeah.
We've all been there, We've made mistakes and
absolutely
tried to be better.
He's not perfect.
Yeah, he's not perfect.
That's what's so relatable about him.
Right.
He's not some super soldier. He's a guy
Right.
with a lot of grit and determination.
Yeah.
Honed his skills. And, so that's why I think, really connect with him.
So it's like, while Thor's got his hammer,
Exactly.
Iron Man's got all his technology.
Yeah.
Clint's just out there with a bow and arrow.
That's right.
Somehow holding his own.
That's right.
Against, literal gods.
It's almost like
There's an audacity to it.
it's almost like he's challenging the idea of what it means to be powerful.
Right.
He's saying, hey, look, I'm just as powerful, just
Right.
in a different way.
Yeah.
He has unwavering belief in himself
Yeah.
and his ability to make a difference.
But, it's not just like he's just, a lucky archer.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We see him constantly training, refining his skills, almost obsessively.
Yeah, he knows he has to be better, faster, sharper.
Yeah, it's like he's got something to prove.
He does.
You know?
He does. And, speaking of, limitations.
One of the things that really stuck out to me in the MCU
Yeah.
is that they really lean into his humanity.
They do.
They don't shy away from showing his vulnerable side.
And the MCU is so good at that.
Right.
Taking these larger-than-life characters,
Right.
grounding them in reality.
He was like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
He's got a family.
Right, in Age of Ultron.
Yeah, Age of Ultron.
Mm.
And he's trying to, shield them from all this.
From the chaos of his world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just adds, a whole new dimension to him.
It humanizes him in a way we hadn't really seen before.
Because now he's not just fighting for...
He's fighting for his family.
Yeah.
For a chance at a normal life.
Right.
And we all relate to that.
Yeah, it makes his sacrifices more meaningful.
They
And his losses.
much more heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking, yeah. Speaking of heartbreaking,
Yes.
we can't skip over the whole Ronin thing.
Oh, no, that's...
Talking about a dark turn, right?
No, it's huge.
Yeah, I mean, half the universe is gone,
That's a lot to process.
including his family. And it's just like,
Yeah,
that guy just loses it.
he does.
Goes in this dark, vengeance path.
It shows you, how deep his love for his family was
Yeah.
and how much their loss just devastated him.
Yeah, it's like he's not even the same person anymore.
Right.
He was so quippy.
He was the comic relief in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and like fun. And now he's just like this brooding, like shadow figure.
It's a reminder that
Yeah.
even heroes, they're vulnerable
Right.
to trauma, to loss.
It's almost like he's wrestling with his demons,
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he is.
trying to find a way to deal with his pain and his rage.
And that darkness.
Yeah.
The brutality. Yeah, it's a side of him.
we hadn't seen before.
Yeah, we hadn't seen before.
And that's where Kate Bishop enters the picture, right?
It does.
This young, like, aspiring archer,
This ray of light comes into his life.
when he needs it most.
Yeah.
I have to say, I was on board with this whole dynamic.
It was a great idea.
From, like, the second they announced the Disney Plus
Yeah.
series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marvel knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
Kate represents hope.
Yeah.
Right. This new generation.
Yeah. Inspired by him.
Inspired by his legacy.
But she's not just a fangirl, right?
No.
She's, like, really skilled.
She's skilled. She's determined. She's got her own way of looking at things, her own
Yes.
perspective.
And the dynamic is fantastic.
Oh,
You know what I mean? She's like
it's electric.
breath of fresh air, you know? She's reminding him of
Yeah.
like, why he does what he does, you know?
The good he's fighting for, the
Yeah.
legacy he can leave behind. It's that classic mentor-mentee relationship. But it's so compelling because
Yeah.
they both challenge each other. They
Right.
learn from each other.
Yeah, they both grow, right?
They both grow.
Yeah.
Kate helps Clint confront his trauma.
Yeah.
And Clint helps Kate figure out what it means
Yeah.
to be a hero.
And the show doesn't shy away from showing, you know,
No.
his
No.
hearing loss,
No, they don't.
which, you know, we know is probably like from
Yeah.
years of explosions and stuff.
Years of, all those battles,
Yeah.
all those explosions. Adds another layer to his character.
Yeah, shows that even heroes, you know,
Absolutely.
deal with real world problems.
They do. It makes them seem more real.
Yeah.
More relatable.
And it's great that Marvel's
I agree.
not afraid to explore that.
Yeah.
You know?
They're willing to go there.
Yeah.
Which is great.
And you know, on top of that, you've got this amazing supporting cast.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, you've got Yelena Belova,
Yeah.
who's like out for revenge.
Seeking revenge for Natasha.
Right.
Yeah.
Her sister
Mhm.
and Maya Lopez,
Becco. Yeah.
whose story is really tied to Clint's Ronin past.
Yeah. So much intrigue added to the mix there.
Really feels like the world of Hawkeye is getting bigger.
It really does.
It feels like it's expanding.
Like we're getting a glimpse into
It's a whole new corner of the MCU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before we get too far down that road, I think
Mhm.
we got to talk about those arrows.
We do. I mean, come on.
Those trick arrows.
They're practically characters in and of themselves.
Right. I mean, it's like he's got a solution for everything.
It is. He does.
Exploding arrows, grappling hooks.
Yep.
What do you think those arrows
Yeah.
like say about him?
I think they say a lot about his personality.
Yeah.
He's resourceful.
Yeah.
He's prepared.
Always thinking ahead.
He's a master strategist.
Yeah.
And he's ready for anything,
Yeah.
but it goes deeper than that.
Oh, okay. Tell me more.
They're symbolic
Okay.
of his adaptability,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah.
His refusal to be defined by his lack of superpowers.
Oh, I like that. He's constantly innovating,
Yeah.
finding ways to level the playing field.
Yeah, because he's up against,
Yeah.
you know, people with incredible powers.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I can still outsmart you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that resonates, I think, with people who feel underestimated.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I may not have this,
Right.
but I'm going to use my brain,
That's right.
my skills
Yeah.
to outmaneuver you.
It's like ingenuity can be
That's right.
a superpower.
Ingenuity and preparation. That's just as powerful as any superpower.
I love that.
Yeah.
You know, it's really inspiring.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground here
We have.
in this deep dive.
We've explored.
We've talked about his past,
We've talked about his journey.
to becoming a hero.
So villain to hero.
Yeah,
And his impact on the MCU.
yeah, and how much he's grown. You know.
We've seen how he embraces his humanity,
Yeah.
challenges the definition of heroism,
Yeah.
and inspires a new generation of archers.
Yeah. But I feel like we just scratched the surface here.
I think so too.
You know what I mean?
There's so much more to unpack.
There's so much more.
We have to talk more about those trick arrows.
Oh, we're just getting started on those trick
Oh,
arrows.
yeah.
You know, and his legacy, like,
Yeah.
what does it all mean?
What's the future of this corner of the MCU?
Yeah.
Lots to discuss.
Yeah. So stay tuned. We'll be back in a flash.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Hawkeye Deep Dive.
Yeah, last time we were talking about Clint kind of being like a super-powered Swiss Army knife.
Right. With all those trick arrows.
All the trick arrows.
Yeah.
But I think before we go any further with those, we got to go back to the Ronin stuff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's a crucial part of his story.
Yeah, because I feel like there's so much more to unpack there.
Yeah.
You know? It's easy to forget, like, the context.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, half the universe is gone.
Half the universe is gone. His family's gone.
Including his family. And he just, like, I don't know.
He loses it.
Yeah, it's like the rug got pulled out from under him.
Yeah. He was this, lighthearted, quippy hero, and then he turns into this brooding, almost ruthless vigilante.
It was a pretty jarring shift.
It was a big change.
Like, when I first saw him in Endgame, I was like, you know, I was like, is that Clint?
We'll be back after a quick break.
Hey there. Welcome to Good Advice Giver. First, we want to start by saying a massive thank you for tuning in today. Whether you're a long-time listener or you're joining us for the first time, we're truly grateful to have you here. We know you've got a lot of options when it comes to podcasts, so the fact that you're spending your time with us means the world. So thank you.
That's right. We're excited to have you with us because here on Good Advice Giver, we cover just about everything. Whether you're interested in sports, relationships, sex, money, finances, business, digital marketing, music, education, movies, comedy, or something else entirely, we've got it all. No topic is off limits here, and we dive deep into real, meaningful conversations that matter.
We've also got a mix of male and female hosts, so you're always getting a well-rounded perspective on every topic we cover. From business strategies to personal development, from car shopping to digital products like affiliate marketing, we bring a little bit of everything to the table. Our goal is to offer advice, insights, and some laughs along the way to make sure you feel welcome and engaged, no matter what brought you here.
And it doesn't stop there. We're not just about giving great advice, we're about action. On this podcast, we even sell products and services we believe in, from affiliate marketing opportunities to cars and more. So whether you're looking to boost your business or find practical ways to improve your everyday life, you're in the right place.
As always, we want you to stay connected with us. Be sure to download this episode so you can listen anytime, anywhere, whether you're commuting, working out, or just relaxing. And while you're at it, follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you name it. That's the best way to stay in the loop for upcoming episodes, behind-the-scenes content, and even giveaways.
And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're posting extra content there, including video podcasts and deep dive discussions you won't want to miss. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what topics you want to hear more about.
Lastly, check out the link below in the description for exclusive offers, resources, and more ways to connect with us. We're here for you, and we can't wait to bring you more valuable content. Thanks again for tuning in to Good Advice Giver. Let's get started.
It's a visual representation of his struggle, right?
Yeah.
To cope with grief and trauma.
Yeah.
You know, he's trying to find meaning in a world that suddenly feels meaningless.
Yeah, it's like he's trying to make sense of it all and just like lashing out.
And he's wrestling with this idea of, you know, how far is too far?
Yeah, like where's that line?
Where's that line?
You know?
When you've lost everything.
Yeah, is he still a hero?
Right.
You know, at this point, it's like...
It raises all those questions about the nature of heroism.
Yeah, and like I said before, it's almost like... He's wrestling with his inner demons.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And trying to find a way to channel all this pain and rage he's got.
And that darkness, that brutality.
We've never seen that from him before.
We hadn't seen that side of him before.
And that's where Kate comes in.
That's where Kate Bishop comes in, this ray of light.
She's like this like glimmer of hope,
Right.
you know,
Yeah, she comes at this time
when he's trying to like atone for what he did.
yeah, he's trying to make amends
Yeah.
for his actions as Ronin.
Yeah, and their dynamic like adds even more
It adds another layer
to his whole like redemption arc.
to his journey of redemption.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I love how it's not like, you know, just a typical
Right.
like, oh, here's the experienced hero.
So, master.
Yeah, taking the protege under his wing.
Taking the young protege under his wing. Yeah, no, they both have a lot to learn
They both have a lot to learn from each other.
from each other.
Yeah, she helps him
She helps him find his humanity again.
like reconnect with himself.
Reconnect with the joy of being Hawkeye.
Yeah, but then he helps her
Yeah.
understand what it really means
The weight of being a
to
hero.
be a hero.
The sacrifices.
The sacrifices, yeah.
that come with it.
And I love how their personalities like clash.
They clash, but they also complement each other.
Yeah, because she's so like
Yeah.
impulsive and optimistic,
Right.
and he's like so
He's much more cautious.
world weary.
Yeah, he's seen some things.
But they like find common ground.
They do. They find common ground.
And their banter is hilarious.
Oh, the banner's fantastic.
So good.
It's so good.
And that's what makes it so fun to watch.
That humor is
Yeah.
so important. It adds lightness to a story that could otherwise be very heavy.
Yeah, and it allows us to connect to them.
Yeah.
You know, as people.
Not just heroes.
Right. Not just like these symbols.
Right.
Yeah, and I love how
Yeah.
the show also doesn't shy away from
Yeah.
like his hearing loss,
No, they don't.
PTSD,
Yeah.
you know, all that stuff, and it's
It's a reminder that
Yeah.
these heroes, they're still human.
yeah, they're still human.
I know.
Even though they can do these incredible things,
Right.
they're still
They have flaws.
yeah, they've got these like real life
Real world
problems, yeah, and that makes them more
It makes them more relatable,
authentic,
more believable.
believable, yeah.
It's a testament to Marvel's willingness
Right.
to explore those darker, more nuanced aspects.
Yeah. And then of course on top of that, you got like, you
So
know,
we call
all
it
these
more-
amazing new characters.
Fantastic new characters.
What
Yelena Belova.
Yelena, like I said before,
She is a force to be reckoned with.
she's intense.
She is intense.
And she wants revenge for Natasha.
Yeah.
So it creates this like really interesting
Tension
dynamic
with Clint.
with Clint, and the fight scenes
Oh, the fight scenes are incredible.
are so good.
So well choreographed.
And then you've got Maya Lopez,
Echo.
yeah,
Yeah.
whose backstory
It's
is all mixed up.
Clint's time as Ronin.
Yeah, with the Ronin stuff, and it feels like, you know,
It feels like we're watching a new legacy be born
yeah, yeah, it's like
in the MCU.
passing the torch, kind
Yeah.
of, you know.
Speaking of legacy, there's all these hints
Right,
about the Young Avengers
right.
maybe forming in the future.
Could Kate be a part of that?
Could she be a part of that? I mean,
I mean, that would be amazing.
it would be amazing.
Yeah.
Opens up so many possibilities.
So many possibilities, but we can't
You can't forget
get about the star of the show.
that attraction. Those trick arrows.
The trick arrows. We got to talk about them.
Yeah, I mean we've mentioned them.
I've mentioned them.
But now it's time to like really
To dive in.
dive in.
I mean, they're more than just cool gadgets.
Yeah.
They really reflect Clint's ingenuity
Yeah.
and his ability to think outside the box.
Like I said before, he's got a solution
He does.
for everything.
He's got an arrow for every occasion.
He's got an arrow for that.
Absolutely.
And it's not just about, having the right arrow.
It's not just about the tools.
Yeah.
It's about the brain.
Yeah, like the intelligence.
The intelligence, the
The
creativity.
creativity, yeah.
To use those tools effectively.
And outmaneuver his opponents. Outmaneuver the opponent.
Yes. Remember that scene in the first Avengers movie?
Oh, yeah.
He's like on the rooftop.
Yeah.
And he just
Shoots the grappling hook.
yeah. And I was like, wait a minute. He can do that.
It's those moments
As you know,
that keep you on the edge of your seat.
it's so good. And it's like,
You never know what he's going to do next.
it's like he's one step ahead.
One step ahead. Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
So we've talked about, his origin story,
we talked about his struggles,
his struggles,
his triumphs,
his triumphs,
the arrows.
the arrows, but what is it all about?
What is it all about? I think it boils down to
Like what makes him
his humanity. He's not a god. He's
yeah.
not a super soldier. He's
Yeah.
just a guy who's incredibly skilled and dedicated to doing the right thing.
Yeah, he's like us.
He's like us.
You know.
He makes mistakes.
But better.
But he keeps going. He never gives up.
And that's inspiring.
That is inspiring.
It is.
It shows us that we don't need superpowers to
Right.
be heroes.
Yeah, we can find our own strength.
Yeah, find our own way to make a difference.
And that's like a message that
resonates.
speaks to everyone.
Across generations.
Yeah, he's a hero for anyone.
He's a hero for the underdog.
Yeah, who's ever felt like
For anyone who's felt like they're not enough.
yeah, they're not enough.
And that's powerful.
That is a powerful legacy.
That's a powerful legacy.
Yeah, and his impact on the Marvel universe is undeniable.
I mean, come on.
You know what I mean?
He's been a key player in some of the biggest events.
Yeah, he's been there
He's been there.
through it all, and you know, you can see his influence.
You can see his influence in characters like Kate Bishop,
Yeah,
who represents the future of Hawkeye.
yeah. Speaking of Kate, it's amazing how their relationship, like,
How it evolves.
yeah,
Over the course of the series. It's beautiful.
yeah, it's not just about passing the torch.
It's not just about passing the torch.
That's
It's
right.
about
It's about growth.
growing, together.
It's about mutual respect.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
about becoming better versions of themselves.
Yeah, and I love how, like I said, she brings out his
Like a lighter side.
yeah, that
Reminds him why he enjoys being Hawkeye.
yeah, and he helps her
Understand the responsibility
Yeah.
that comes with it.
like, it's not all fun and games.
Right.
It's
It's not all trick arrows and banter.
Yeah, and the show also, introduced all these
It introduces a fantastic character.
like Yelena, Maya,
Yeah.
and it feels like it's just like this whole
It's just the beginning.
new world is opening up. You know what I mean?
It's a whole new chapter
Yeah.
in the MCU.
Yeah.
And it's exciting. It's really exciting. And I think it all comes back to, like,
It comes back to
those core themes. You know what I mean?
the core themes of his character.
Resilience.
The resilience.
Determination.
And his willingness to fight for what's right.
No matter what.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Even when it seems impossible.
And he's a reminder that anyone can be a hero.
Anyone can be a hero.
You know,
Doesn't matter if you have superpowers or not.
it's about
It's about the choices you make.
the choices you make. Yeah.
Yeah.
The actions you take.
So as you're watching all this stuff, all these movies, these shows.
Keep an eye out for those little details.
Yeah.
Those moments of humanity
Yeah.
that make these characters so compelling.
Yeah. And never underestimate a well-placed trip arrow.
Never underestimate the power of a trick arrow.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, I think that about wraps it up for
this part of the deep dive.
this part. But we got
one more part. One more part.
we got to talk about
We got to talk about the legacy,
the legacy of Hawkeye
what it all means.
and the impact he's had on the future of the Marvel Universe.
We'll be right back. All right, Hawkeye fans, welcome back for the final round of our deep dive.
Round 3.
So we've talked about, like, his origin story, his struggles, his evolution as a hero,
The Ronin phase.
Ronin, the trick arrows.
Oh, yeah, the trick arrows.
But I keep coming back to, like, the trick arrows, It's
Yeah.
like he's got an arrow for every situation.
It's like he's got an answer for everything.
Yeah. It's, like,
Yeah.
amazing.
He's always prepared.
Yeah.
Always thinking ahead.
Yeah.
It really says a lot about him.
Yeah.
That even though he's not,
Yeah.
a super soldier,
Yeah.
he doesn't have super strength or
He can't fly.
can't fly. Yeah.
Right.
He finds a way to be just as effective.
Right.
It's
It's like he's saying,
Yeah.
all right, universe.
give me your best shot.
Yeah, I got an arrow for that.
I got something for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's I think really empowering
Yeah.
for people to see that.
Right,
Because
right.
it's like, look, you may not have superhuman abilities,
Right.
but you can still be resourceful. You can
Right.
still overcome challenges,
Yeah.
Use
Use your brain.
your creativity,
Right.
maybe a couple trick arrows.
Yeah.
You can get the job done.
But do you ever think that those trick arrows overshadow his,
Ooh, that's an interesting question.
like, actual skill as an archer?
That is an interesting question.
I
mean, he is a master archer. It's
Yeah.
easy to forget that when you see all
Yeah.
these crazy gadgets and
The
gizmos.
explosions and the,
But at his core, he's dedicated his life
Right.
to honing that skill.
Yeah.
And there are moments where
Yeah.
he pulls off shots that are just
Yeah.
mind-blowing.
Mind blowing. Yeah. With just a regular arrow.
Just a regular arrow. Yeah.
Like, remember that scene in Age of Ultron where he takes out, like, a dozen Ultron bots with
Oh, yeah.
one arrow.
One perfectly placed shot.
Isn't
Like,
it?
it was incredible. It was
Yeah.
like a throwaway moment almost.
Yeah, but it's like so.
But it spoke volumes
Yeah,
about his mastery.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, even without all the bells and whistles,
Yeah.
he's a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, it's like poetry in motion, you know?
It is. It's like watching a master at work.
Yeah.
You know, every movement is
Yeah.
precise and deliberate.
And it all goes back to, like, the training, you know?
Yeah.
He never stops.
He never stops.
Right.
He's always striving to be better.
He's got that drive.
Always pushing himself
Yeah.
to be the best.
And, you know, I think that's why
That's why he's earned the respect of his fellow Avengers.
they know. Like, when he draws back that bow,
You don't want to be on the other side of that arrow.
no, they're like, all right, this is serious.
This is the real deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of, like, you know, respect and all that,
Yeah.
I mean, think about his legacy.
Oh, his legacy is incredible.
Right. He's gone from being, like, a B-list.
Yeah, he was kind of like an afterthought.
Yeah, in the
He
comic
really did.
to now, like, a fan of it.
A bona fide star.
Disney Plus series, you know,
Headlining his own show.
it's crazy.
It's amazing.
And it really speaks to, like, you know,
I think it speaks to the power of relatable characters.
yeah.
Characters who have flaws, who are human, you
Yeah.
know. And Clint's journey, I think
Yeah.
it resonates with people
Yeah.
because we see ourselves in him.
Mhm.
We see our own struggles,
Yeah.
our own triumphs,
Yeah.
and we root for him
Yeah.
because he's the underdog.
Yeah, he's the everyman, right?
He is.
He's the one who shows us that.
You don't need superpowers to
Yeah.
make a difference. You
Yeah.
just got to have the heart,
The heart, yeah.
the will, the
Yeah.
determination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his impact on the Marvel universe
hmm
is undeniable.
I mean, he's been there since, like, phase 1.
Right.
He's been through so much.
Yeah.
He's a key player in so many events.
Yeah, you can see his influence, like, on characters like Kate Bishop,
Oh, absolutely.
who's, like, you know, carrying on
Yeah.
the Hawkeye mantle.
The legacy.
Yeah. And speaking of Kate,
Yeah.
I mean, their relationship
It's beautiful to watch.
is just so
How it grows.
Yeah.
How it evolves.
Yeah.
It's not just a simple passing of the torch.
Yeah.
It's
deeper than that.
they're both learning from each other.
Yeah.
They're both challenging each other.
Yeah. And like we were saying before, like, she brings out
She brings out his lighter side.
his fun side, you
She
know.
reminds him why he enjoys this.
Yeah.
Why he likes being Hawkeye.
Yeah.
But
Her
he
need-
helps her understand
Yeah, the responsibility.
the gravity of the situation.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that it's not all you know.
It's not all fun and games.
Yeah.
There are real stakes here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you've got, like, you know,
The introduction of Yelena May Lopez.
to just add,
So many interesting dynamics
like, so much more
to this corner of the MCU.
to that world.
Yeah, it feels like the possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where it goes from here.
Yeah. It's an exciting time to be a Hawkeye fan.
It is. It is.
And it all just comes back to, like, I don't know.
To Clint.
And Clint, like,
Yeah, those core themes.
yeah, the themes of his character.
You keep talking about.
Yeah.
Resilience.
Resilient.
Determination.
Determination.
And never giving up.
Never giving up.
You know?
Yeah.
Fighting for what's right.
No matter what.
No matter what.
He's a perfect example of
Who's a perfect example
Yeah.
that you don't need superpowers.
that heroism can come
Yeah.
in many forms.
Many forms.
It doesn't have to be
It
flashy.
doesn't have to be flashy.
It doesn't have to
You
be.
don't have to wear a cape,
You don't need a cape.
you know?
It's about the choices you make.
The choices you make.
The-
Yeah.
the actions you take.
It's about heart.
It's about heart.
Yeah. So as you're, you know, continuing your adventures through the MCU.
Keep an eye out for those little details.
Yeah, those little moments.
Those moments of humanity
Yeah.
that make these characters
Because those are the things that
so compelling.
stick with you. They're the things you remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And never underestimate the power of a well-placed trick arrow.
And a trick arrow never hurts.
Yeah. Well, that about wraps it up for our Hawkeye deep dive.
Thanks for joining us.
We hope you enjoyed it, learned a few things,
Learned a little something.
and yeah.
Hmm?
Until next time, true believers.
See you next time.
Today is your lucky day. Today is the day that our $3 website works for you, paying you directly to your PayPal daily. Imagine $3 ongoing continuous payments to your PayPal account. Imagine falling asleep and waking up to $300 in your PayPal account. How would this make you feel? How could this help you? What bills could you pay? What kind of fun could you have? What does that retirement look like now? All for a one-time payment of $3. This website is DFY done for you, fully built and completely hosted, and never stops collecting payments for you. You have spent $3 on coffee on a regular, but that coffee won't help you create multiple streams of income. Click the link below.